Are you going to die?
Sometime in the future.
I can see from your faces that none of you are clairvoyant, although Michelle always seems to be able to read our thoughts. That's neither here nor there. I feel like I need to change the question to make it more possible for you to answer. A very similar question to what I ask my financial planning clients when I begin to discuss retirement with them. At what age do you think you'll be dead by?
Okay.
Why do you need to know this? Because if you're going to plan your retirement, you need to figure out when you're going to retire and how long you'll need funds for. By a show of hands, just off the top of your head, how many people here think they'll be dead by age 80? Leave them up. 85? 90? 95? Leave them up. Leave them up there, guys. Leave them up. 100? That looks like everyone but Emarv, who I agree is probably living forever. Maybe Epi as well. What's interesting is that, in my opinion, Marvin, and I don't know if Epi, you were just not raising a hand for no reason, but I could see Marvin was purposefully not raising his hand, are probably off. What if you were going to live to age 100 and beyond? Would you be able to retire at age 65? First, let me address why this is important. Because I think there are three things happening in retirement that will make it very difficult for people to retire at age 65 unless they take some action pretty much immediately. The first thing is just to know that Time magazine came out with an article recently that said the first baby to live to 142 was likely already born.
Oh no.
142. Does that mean you're going to be that baby? Probably not. But longevity is increasing. Why? Couple reasons. Bill Gates recently invested in a drug that they're developing right now. It's not actually a drug, it's really a test for a screening for cancer. I recently had a very close family friend die of pancreatic cancer. Pancreatic cancer is a horrible disease because it doesn't present symptoms until late in the process. Usually by that time it's metastasized to something else and it's nearly impossible to fix. Everyone agrees that if we could catch pancreatic cancer earlier, people would have a much, much higher survival rate. This test, a simple blood test, will give doctors the ability to screen you for that in the very early stages. Combined with new treatments that are coming out all the time for cancer, pancreatic cancer, lung cancer, all these other types of cancers may be treatable or even eradicated in our lifetime. And that's just one of many things that kills us that we're continuing to fix. Heart disease. More and more treatments coming out for heart disease. Regardless of how much you eat, they may be able to just give you a workup, clean out your veins, and you can start again with the bacon. Like I will.
Hey.
All of these things combined to say, yeah, there you go, keep eating. And that's all well and good, so we might all get to our usual life expectancies that we would have if nothing else killed us. 80s, 90s, maybe even early hundreds. But what about something like this that came out in the New York Times? A drug is currently being tested on dogs, was already tested on rodents, that showed to increase life expectancy by 30%. What I mean by that is to say, not only were these rodents living longer, but they took it and gave this drug to older rodents who grew back hair and became more mobile. They became younger. Imagine if you could have a drug that when you were 70, literally brought you back to your body being the age of 50 again. The next 20 years almost starting over. And what will that extra 20 years of life allow science to do to keep up with you? Will a new drug come out to make you 30 again? I don't know. I'm not saying it's happening tomorrow, but these things are happening quicker than we think. what will living longer do to your retirement? Combine that with the fact that defined benefit plans are going away. Everyone know what a defined benefit plan is? Most people have some form of retirement plan through their business. Either they have their own IRA or they have a 401k or something like that. That's called a defined contribution plan, where you're defining how much you put into it every month. A defined benefit plan is something most people had. In the 80s, 60% of people were part of what's called a defined benefit plan, meaning they were going to pay you an income when you retired as long as you lived. Now, from 60% in the 80s, we're down to 4% of American workers who have this plan. You're going to end up with this pot of money, but no guarantee it'll last as long as you do. The defined benefit plan that was supposed to help you with that is going away. Why? Because it's so expensive to administer now, you might live to 140. Companies don't want to have to pay you from age 65 to 140. They're taking away these plans, saying, well, you're going to have a pot of money. You figure out what to do with it. There is one place you can go that will address both of these problems: an insurance company. Most people know you have to get life insurance through an insurance company. They're the only ones who can offer you the benefits of no matter when I die, as long as I'm paying my premium, they will pay me a death benefit. It's a hedge against death. They also have the alternative, the hedge against life. It's called an annuity. People have heard that term before. It's got all these negative connotations around it. Don't buy annuities, heavy fees. All an annuity is, in its purest sense, is an income stream that will last as long as you do. Everyone should be investing in annuities right now because mortality tables are still based on the longest life expectancy being around 100, 105. If we keep increasing life expectancies, you'll have bought a very cheap annuity based on mortality. If you remember nothing else, remember these three things. You're living longer. You have less chance at having a retirement plan that's going to help you and pay you for the rest of your life. And the only place you can go to combat that problem is to an insurance company and buy an annuity. Mr. Toastmaster.